Well, we're having an inquiry into leasehold, what the problems are with it, what needs to be done, what the government's suggesting so far, does it go far enough? And we've had so much evidence, 700 pieces of evidence altogether, more than any other inquiry we've ever done. And much of that evidence has come from individual leaseholders, people who don't come and give formal evidence to the committee at oral evidence sessions, but want to come and chat to us about their problems and frustrations, not just write to us. And that's an opportunity for them to do precisely that today.
I am here because I would like to be able to purchase a share of my freehold and not be governed by somebody that's ruthlessly exploiting us for money.
I'm here today because I feel very, very strongly about a situation I found myself in. I inherited my mother's flat 10 years ago when she died. I kept the flat, so I decided to rent it out. And each time I rent it out, the landlords who have recently been sold on the lease ask me for a percentage value of the flat, and I get a bill for £3,000. Now, I could actually have 3 different tenants in the course of a year and have to pay out £9,000 with these landlords. And I think it is grossly unfair, and I hope that somebody will do something about it.
The problem with buying a leasehold property is that you are, in law, in the eyes of the law, you are a tenant, and you only own a lease on the property for the length of the lease.
People who said that they were forced to buy a lease because the developer told them a freehold wasn't available, yet on the next phase of the development, freeholds were sold. People who've got a lease and then find that the ground rent escalates every so often to very large sums. Restrictive covenants in the lease, which mean that you get charged considerable amounts of money just to put a conservatory on, or a garage, or some other minor changes to the house. Very expensive service charges, and then for flat owners, very often the managing agents of the flat charging what they believe are very high sums of money for very simple jobs.
I'd love to own a freehold because I don't want to be told what to do within the lease, but I can't change my decoration, I can't paint my own windows, etc., etc. Why is it the entire reserve funds have been taken, plus another £100 for myself, because it's going to cost me £1,500 to paint 4 windows and 1 door.
I felt like at the time I was protected because I had a 999-year lease. I didn't think it would ever be an issue because I'd never have to renew the lease. But of course, I didn't bargain on the fact that the freeholder would then make unreasonable demands on us. Any kind of minor alteration, no matter how small, he would charge us thousands of pounds, or try to. We've refuted it. If he answered any solicitor's questions, he would charge us £250 an hour for his time.
It's obviously only as you go through the experience of being a leaseholder that over a period of time you realise that yes, you actually are a tenant. You don't own the property. You don't own the land that the property is built on, and you don't own the building that you live in. Your leaseholder owns it, and you only own a lease.
We want to hear from individuals their personal circumstances. What really affects them by being a leaseholder? What are their frustrations? What do they think is unfair about the system? And what do they think could be done to put it right? Then as a committee we'll listen to all the things they've told us and to the other evidence that we'll hear during the course of our inquiry, and then come to a view in a report which we'll probably publish early in the new year.
The ideal outcome for me personally, and I'm sure for a lot of other people, would be that no matter whether you own 1 flat, 2 flats, everybody should be allowed to own a percentage of the freehold, whether it's 1% or 90%. Everybody that is a leaseholder needs the right to own part of the freehold so that they've got some kind of control over the situation, and then it should hopefully not spiral completely out of control like it is at the moment.
The best outcome would be if there was a set fee, like £100 for the landlords. That I could handle, even if I were to have 3 tenants a year, but I cannot afford £3,000 every time my tenants change. That is 1% of the value of the flat as determined by them.
The ideal outcome of this inquiry would be to not reform leasehold because it's a broken system. The ideal outcome would be to abolish leasehold.
The next steps are to have formal oral evidence from a number of organisations and individuals who've written to us. That'll be developers, it'll be councils, it'll be campaigning organisations on leasehold matters, including the All-Parliamentary Group on Leasehold Reform, which has done an excellent job in highlighting these issues. And we'll hear all that evidence, collect it together, and then come to a view, having heard the Minister finally, about our view about what needs to be done for the future.